Welcome to Homelessness Chronicles. Today on the show, we have Lizet DiBernardo. Lizet, thank you so much for being on the show today. Please share with the audience about what you do and how you are really changing the world by providing health services.
Thank you so much for having me here today. It's such a blessing, and watching you just evolve has been incredible. I own a company called South Florida Health and Wellness Center, and we provide HIV, all STD testing, health, wellness, STD, Hep C, prevention, treatment. It's test, treat, counsel. But we go above and beyond and make sure that you have the medication and other resources that they might need if you're HIV positive. We partner you with the Ryan White Foundation. We don't just test you and say, oh, you're positive or negative, but whether you are positive or negative, there are resources out there, especially dealing with those that are, at the moment, not able to have the resources. So the most important thing is their day to day. So we're bringing out to the community with Showering Love, supporting together, especially as a group, being able to provide those services with you has been an amazing opportunity. We've been able to assist, I think, hundreds of people and people that have been positive, at least 35 HIV positive patients.
And that's amazing. And, one of the things I really love about your organization is that you're able to get them the medicine. The medicine for HIV and for Hep C is very expensive.
Absolutely.
And yet you're able to get them that medicine. Can you tell us how long it takes for them to get the medicine? And do you know what the cost is for someone to address Hep C or HIV?
So for the HIV medication, without any resources, if there's no insurance at all, it's HIV is probably $3,600 a month. So it's called the PrEP, and you take that to prevent yourself from getting HIV. So if you have slept with somebody or you shared a needle for whatever instant, the reasoning why that you could be positive or you're on a risk, that's about $3,600. The Hep C per month. Yes.
And how many months do they?
Forever.
Oh, they're on it forever.
On the PrEP, you go as long as you are in risky behavior. If you're out there sharing needles, we are adding the sharing needle, the needle exchange program. So that's forever, as long as it keeps you from getting HIV. It is a 99% accuracy. So if your partner has HIV and you're on the PrEP, you want to take all precautions, but the PrEP will keep you from getting. So it's end the pandemic by 2030 is the goal, is to have nobody positive for HIV.
That's awesome.
And that's the goal. So, and then the HIV medication could be anywhere. It's a 3 month, and the whole 3 months could be anywhere from 16 to 72,000, depending where.
And is that the same price for the Hep C medicine?
That's the Hep C cure. That's the Hep C, depending on whether it's the generic, the brand or whatever. But that's for a 3 month, 17 to $60,000.
And you found the resources so where they're able to get this medicine at no cost, right?
Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
amazing.
Found them. Yep. Absolutely.
That's amazing.
And if they don't, then we step in and help pay for co-pays or wherever we can. We just pound on doors until we get what we want.
Thank you. So the next question I have is let's go back to the beginning where you and I met. Can you share a little bit about that moment and that
Absolutely.
day? And
that day, we were at a Rockers and Recovery Festival. I think we both were a part of the all of the
show.
Yeah, exactly. And you had a shell of your bus there. And I'm like, what is that? Immediately drawn to it. I went over, taking me through the tour of it, and I got goosebumps. And immediately, I think, started overwhelmed by emotion that this is just, and right now, honestly, I'm getting it. And it was just the way that you were and the way the bus was. And I said, we are going to work together. We are going to do something in the future. And it was just a bond, I think, at that moment. And looking at you now, and it's like, look, anything that we said, we're doing it and then some. I mean, how amazing is that?
And that was 8 years ago.
Yes.
And here's the great thing. Here we are, two women
Right.
who have both suffered from mental illness. We've both been in mental wards. I don't know if that's the correct word. And yet we've been able to get the medicine, get our mental health under control, and still come back to be, to run these amazing companies. Amazing companies,
I mean,
right?
just a gift. It's such a blessing.
Yeah. So, it's a lot of people think that when people have mental illness that they're crazy and there's no hope for them. But there is medication. Of course, you have to work on, of course, the traumas and this and that. Yeah. And then you can come back and have an amazing life, right? Look what you're doing.
I mean, yes, absolutely. The changes that we can make, and make sure, for me, it's been an amazing group of women, having the strong women and looking up to them and saying, okay, bounce things off of you, or to tell the truth.
Yeah, so it's our little hope things, because, there's always hope, but we're going to leave it there. Lizet, you've come out with us. You provided your services, South Florida Health and Wellness, and you've helped so many of our guests. I wanted to ask you, in your experience, what do you see the guests, the difference in the guests when they, before and after they go into the showers? Wow. And what have the guests shared with you?
So I remember Christmas time, and this is just one of many, many, many amazing stories. But they go in, they take a shower. Matter of fact, going in, they carry themselves just down. They don't even look up. By the time they've come out of that, I call it the magic mobile, the magic mobile, like the Batmobile, but the magic mobile. Going through that process and then coming out, and they're smiling, clothes, proud, amazing. And then you had them drawing a picture. If you remember the crafts, draw a picture, and I am like overwhelmed with goosebumps. And you said to give it to somebody that you can. I don't remember who it was, but somebody that's important to you. Save it. And three of the ones that showered and got our services brought me their picture. I have them in my glove compartment. I said, I want to give this to you. And there was one that was for you. I think they brought, and that was the most powerful, just to be thankful and grateful that we were there. That's life-changing.
It is. And, one thing I've experienced with the guests, is that, just so the audience knows, that they're so kind and caring and loving. Like, they cannot be more helpful or always right there to say, can we help you? And we let them help them. It makes them feel like they're part of.
Right.
And, but you have sat down with them. I have sat down with them, and they are just like you or I.
They are us.
But different time, different space, right? But they've went through something, whether it's a derailment, a divorce, whether it was they were living with their parents, whether they lost their job during COVID, and a lot of them did.
Yes.
And they're still trying to get back on their feet. But they never lose hope.
Right. They're resilient. Like
they are so resilient and just so loving and caring. So the next question I want to ask you, how important is collaborations? Working with and helping others less fortunate to become self-sufficient again?
I believe collaboration is the key, and you have made that the most important thing from day one. Let's all be there, a resource together, so that there is, whether it be a barber, or it is making them first feel better about themselves, because you can't do anything unless you're feeling better about yourself. And that shower is and change of clothes is that first step, because the way you look on the outside is how you feel on the inside. And to start that change is the most powerful change, the most prevalent change that they can make that day. And then to have a resource there for testing or mental health. So you're making sure that they're having every options, getting their feet done. I mean, hello, getting a haircut. They would never, ever, ever be able to have that if you don't bring all of these people together. As a community, we need to treat as a community and help as a community, because everybody just needs a little bit of help and a little push.
Because we're all a different piece to a bigger puzzle, right? So no
takes a
one
village.
is more important than the other one. Everyone is equally as important, and it takes all of us. It takes all of us to come together and offer different services. And so they can become self-sufficient. Showing Love does the pop-up health fairs. You know,
Right.
about every 4 months, we bring many, many health components together. So it's a one-stop shop for them. And we really can get all their needs met that day, whether it's ID, whether it's birth certificates,
Right.
whether they need a resume, whether they need, we work with, the teeth. Yeah, that's a big component there. And Broward Point being with us, and South Florida Health and Wellness being with us, and so many other collaborations that come with us is really what's making the difference, and it's really what's given us the outcomes,
Right.
because we see them getting their lives back together.
Right. And I have seen, even if it's one, and I've seen numerous people get it together and contact me, thanking me later, and I'm like, thank you for what? And I didn't remember, but they remind me, and then I remember exactly who it was.
Of course.
I remember everybody I've gone across.
Of course.
You know,
How
every
can we?
single person.
Well, there's so many more questions I'd like to ask you, but I want to thank you today for coming on the show, Lizet. And I also want to thank you, the community, for following us, and stay tuned for next week's Homelessness Chronicles.